Hi. Boy, well, a long day. Went to go visit my parents. I'm currently lizard sitting for a couple of friends of mine. Um, but I also made time to go get some movies that I've been wanting to pick up for a while. So I just kind of want to show those off, and to just sort of say hey and talk about movies. It's the end of the day. So without further ado, Firestarter. Got to see this one in theaters. Excited about this collector's edition. I'm more excited to get the soundtrack on vinyl. I did pre-order the soundtrack, and I'm supposed to get it sometime in October. Huge John Carpenter fan. I do like the soundtrack for this film. The film was entertaining. Like, it was okay. It wasn't anything great. I've not seen the original, so my expectations weren't tainted. Like, I don't know how closely this resembles the original, if at all. But overall, I liked it. And I recommend it if you've got nothing else to watch. One that I don't know if I could recommend, and for some reason I picked it up anyway, is the new Resident Evil. And I got this mostly because I'm a completionist. I've got the other Resident Evil movies, which I do actually enjoy. I actually really like the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies. I would actually say that the first three are actually pretty good. But the series overall is guilty pleasure. Like, I love the action. They're ridiculous in a lot of points. But overall, I like all six of them. Like, there isn't one in the series that I hated. But this one got so much wrong, despite the fact it was trying to do fan service in a lot of ways, because they were like, well, fans thought that, the Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich films departed too much from the games, whereas I'd seen the movies first and hadn't played the games yet. Now I've played a couple of the games, but I was interested to see a more faithful adaptation, but yet they cast actors in a lot of these roles that don't fit the characters. Like, the guy that they cast to play Leon looks a lot like Carlos, and acts a little bit like Carlos, and acts nothing like Leon. Like, he's completely clueless throughout most of the movie, and that's not Leon at all in the games. In the games, he's very capable despite being a rookie, and has like the worst first day on the job ever. But I wanted to revisit it anyway because there are aspects of it that I like. I like Robbie Amell as Chris Redfield. I like the actress that plays Claire. So if they were to do a sequel to this, I would like them to keep the aspects that worked. Like, I thought the creature effects were fine. I would like to see a better cast, especially like with Wesker, because I didn't buy the guy that played Wesker at all. Like, I didn't find him intimidating whatsoever. A movie that I could absolutely recommend is The Curse, which is a very, very unique take on the werewolf, on a werewolf movie. So I don't even really want to like go into the plot, but this is a very creepy movie. It's also very intelligently done and doesn't hold any punches. It feels like an A24 movie in a good way. Like, I think a lot of those can be kind of pretentious, in my opinion. But there are some that are also really good. But I'm surprised that A24 actually didn't make this one. But it's a good blend of atmospheric horror, but also, like, if you just want to see a monster movie, it has plenty of that too. But it has a lot of really original moments. So I would highly recommend checking out The Curse. Out of all the movies that I bought, I think this is the one that I could highly recommend. Land Shark. Enough said. Haven't seen this one, but of course the title alone made me want to purchase it. Here's the synopsis. A scientific group attempting to genetically modify a shark creates a destructive killing machine that even they can't control. After breaking free from captivity, this new predator goes on a rampage looking for its favorite meal: humans. Um, yeah, so, shark that swims on land. Can't go wrong with that. Next is Alien Shark. God, I love bad shark movies. And it included a free bonus movie called The Mysterious Island. Don't know what that's about at all, but that cover just is everything I could ever want. When Alicia's friends throw her military deployment party on an island, a meteor crashes into the dunes, and a massive alien shark targets the beach. Now Alicia must fight back to save them and the planet from this predator beyond the stars. Interesting. Huh. And finally, this is a movie that I missed while in theaters. The Secrets of Dumbledore, the third in the Fantastic Beasts series. I actually really love the Fantastic Beasts movies. I liked the first two quite a bit. And I would say with the exception of the first two Harry Potter movies, I actually prefer the Fantastic Beasts movies over, the rest of the Harry Potter films. I know I might be in the minority, but I actually like seeing the point of view from the adults, and seeing Dumbledore as a younger man is really fascinating to me. And I think Jude Law is great in the part. And it's interesting seeing this history, this stuff that's history by the time that Harry Potter comes into being. But I really like this case, and so I haven't gotten to open it up yet, but it's obviously Newt Scamander's briefcase. So let me open her up. So this is what, and I'm sorry, my phone camera is not the best, but this is what it looks like. Like, it's got a little pop-up, and it's got the movie inside. And I'll probably store the other two movies in here as well. But this is what it looks like underneath. Really love it. See if there's anything on the inside underneath this cardboard insert. Kind of doubt it. I mean, I'm glad they didn't just make it blank. Like, there's actual stuff in there. But yeah, that's awesome. I love it. This is going to take up a lot of space. But I'm excited to check this out. I didn't get around to see it in the theater, despite the fact that I actually really did want to go see it. And as far as the elephant in the room, which is Ezra Miller, boy, I mean, they fired Johnny Depp, but they kept Ezra Miller, and I get that this stuff happened after they finished the movie, and whether or not they should recast him, because I know that they're planning on doing a fourth and fifth film. So my thoughts on that, not that anybody asked, is I think that it'd probably be a good idea. I don't think Ezra Miller is that great of an actor. Like, he's all right. Like, he's serviceable in the first two Fantastic Beasts movies, and he's okay as the Flash. Like, I don't mind him as an actor. I think he's just fine. I don't think he's anything special. But I think as a human being, it sounds like he has a lot of issues. And I think that makes... and it's a shame. Like, I don't think they should just straight up cancel the fourth and fifth film because he could be potentially involved. Because there are going to be hundreds of other people that are going to be employed to do these next two movies. And I don't think they should... I mean, they could probably get jobs elsewhere, but they have a project that's potentially already locked in. So I think the studio runs in the problem of, do they have him locked down contractually to do parts 4 and 5? Because they do that a lot to make sure that the actors are available to do these big franchises. So if they try to fire him, there might be a clause in his contract to say that they have to pay him X amount of money in order to get rid of him. But I don't know what they're going to do. I think that if there's not a big downside, like they don't have to pay him a quarter of the movie's budget in order to fire him, then it'd probably be a good move. But it's pretty poopy that they kept him and got rid of Johnny Depp, who I thought was great as Grindelwald. And I think Mads Mikkelsen could obviously be really good too. He's a great actor. Uh, but it's just a crappy situation. I don't envy the person that has to make the decision on that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, that's just like that just goes to show how nerdy I am because I know about film stuff like that. Like I know that there's contracts involved, and it's not just as simple as they should just fire him. It's more complicated than that, and I think they have to also take in consideration because I think that having him in the movie hurt the box office. Like it still made about double its budget just in the movie theater. Who knows how much it's going to make from DVD and Blu-ray sales. But I think having his involvement did hurt the movie, and I think that if they do a fourth and fifth installment and he's in it, I think those are going to fare even worse. But I think they'll get brownie points if they get rid of him. I mean, I'm cool with them recasting him, and they could explain it away like it's a magic spell that made him look different. And they could potentially get a much better actor to play this relative of Dumbledore. And yeah, I mean, there are other actors that are about Ezra's age that would be a lot better. But yeah, so rant over. Those are the movies I picked up at Walmart tonight. What are some recent films that you've picked up for your personal collection, whether digital or physical? Have you watched anything on streaming that you're currently enjoying? What do you think of the Fantastic Beasts series? I feel like I'm in the minority where I, for the most part, enjoy Newt's story more than I enjoy Harry Potter. I mean, I love the Chamber of Secrets, and oh gosh, what's the second one? The Chambers of Secrets is the second one, and then the Sorcerer's Stone is the first one. I love those two, but like I said earlier, I think I like the Fantastic Beasts movies more than the rest of the Harry Potter films, and I'd be curious to know if anybody else feels that way, or if it's just me. So thanks for hanging out. Take care.